So this is my CGEM. Bought the telescope in, I think it was 2004. This is a Celestron C8, vintage C8. Nothing super special, but it works really well. Always stayed in collimation, so never had a problem with this. And this is a pretty vintage CGEM that I bought in, I think it was 2010. Haven't really made any changes to the CGEM other than a hypertune a year ago. But recently, I moved to British Columbia and I experienced that there's a little bit more dew here in the air, and so I needed a couple of dew heater rings for my eyepieces here, and started to get really tangly. And I also bought this StarSense auto guider from Celestron, which is a really neat little device. It helps me to get aligned a little bit quicker and points to the objects that I want to observe very precisely, but it also helps me to do the polar alignment electronically with the hand control, and it's perfect. And because I didn't need to look through this axis anymore to align with Polaris, I thought maybe I can run all the cables, the power cable and the other cables, directly through the mount, through the axis, so I don't have all this cable tangle on the outside anymore. And I must say it actually works quite well. So I have this silicone guitar cable here, it's an Ernie Ball cable, and turned it into a 12-volt DC cable. Just going to show you how it looks inside here. So there's Velcro everywhere on this thing, and so these plugs stay together, plug together just with a piece of Velcro, and it also prevents it from rubbing or getting caught, or the cable getting worn out by any sharp edges in the mount here. I'm sorry if it's a little bit dark, but I just set up. I'll fix this later. There's a little lamp here that also has a USB port, and I can use this when it's dark to align these guys here, and I don't always have to turn my headlamp on. I also wear glasses now, so I have a lot of stuff on my head that I constantly have to fiddle with, and this little guy here just makes stuff a lot easier. Has 3 settings, super simple. Also, of course, Velcro. The whole mount is basically covered with Velcro. I put the smooth side on the mount so it doesn't attract too much dirt on this side, but I can put this guy here, I can put him down here, so I can illuminate my eyepieces and see what's going on down there. Once I'm all ready and aligned, I don't really mess with these guys as much anymore. And this way my my hand control can stay here or here, or can stay on the other side if I wanted to. I can also put it down here, so there's like points of contact everywhere where I just put this Velcro stuff, and it just works so perfectly. So cables, and this is the exciting part, this is why I'm sharing this, basically because I haven't seen this before. The cable runs through this axis here all the way into the housing, into the upper housing here. I'm going to turn out the lights a little bit so you can see better. It's in the housing here, comes out right here through this little hole that I drilled into this plate, and just attaches here and gives power to the mount. But there's also a splice in this cable, and there's another part of 12-volt DC going through the DEC axis all the way up here and comes out right there. Comes out there. I also, because I needed a cable for the auto guider, there's a serial cable going through, comes out the other side right here and goes through the DEC axis also, and also comes out here, and then I can plug it right here. And I did this on the outside it's not as elegant as it could be for sure, but I did this so I can observe how much cable is actually playing around inside of the mount. So far it has not been a problem because there's really not that much movement. So there's nothing getting bunched up in here. I can show you what it looks like in the inside once I take the plate off. I want to show you what it looks like. It's a little unelegant, but it works really, really well. And so I don't really have any cable tangle on the outside of the mount at all anymore. This just turns, and the only thing that can get caught is the hand control, but it usually lives up here, and so there's no problem. This is also the reason why I mounted my GPS unit up here. Also Velcro. I just glued this to the mount, attaches here, and it's pretty sturdy. There's a little bit of Velcro on top of it, so I can mount this here too if I want to. So in the dark I can just basically throw this hand control at the mount and it'll stick somewhere, which is great. It's gonna live here for now. Yeah, hand control comes out here, GPS goes in here. There's a little bit of a pull relief for these cables so I don't yank them out by accident. And I have these little tabs everywhere because now that I have so many cables, there's one for the dew heater strips, there's one for this little USB guy. We'll show you this on the other side. This is actually pretty cool. Got all the cables running down here. Got the cables for the auto guider running up here. Everything is really neat. This cable is really long and I couldn't shorten it myself, and so I just looped it back and forth a little bit. I got all these dew heater strips, come out here, they are now turned on, come out here, clip, 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 clip. Here, added a little weight. I made this from these cable guides, glued two of them together, just stuck them together, and now it's like a little ball, and it has a little bit of weight to it so they don't tangle up as much when I'm shifting around my eyepieces here, which is pretty neat. So that's great. There's a USB powered laser pointer on this thing. It's nice to have it powered because they tend to get really dull once it gets cold. These batteries don't do so well in these laser pointers when they get really cold. Everybody knows this problem. And then the cable goes in here, comes through, comes out here, and then plugs right in here. And this is a 12 volt to USB. I have two little USB ports in there, and it powers my green laser. So yeah, that's it. I think I wanted to show you what this looks like here on the inside. Okay, so now that the mount is open, I can actually show you what this looks like on the inside. There's some Velcro here on the motors, so nothing gets snagged there. There were a lot of burrs on the inside of the housing there, and so I covered that with Velcro too, so that the cables don't create too much friction in there, but I have not encountered any problems whatsoever so far. Cables come out here, the light. Cables come out here, as you can see, out of this axis, and they go through here, same as with a serial cable there. So everything works really well. Turn it a little bit so you can see what it looks like when it twists. Here it is. Here are those cables. So you can see they do rub a little bit on the inside there, but I haven't heard any motor binding. I haven't heard anything on the inside. Everything is super smooth, and there's really not that much. This never happens, so there's really not that much that can happen with these cables on the inside there. And yeah, pretty proud of this actually. I was thinking about maybe putting a slip disc at some point, maybe here, and then feeding the cables through this thing, but I need another part machine for that, and that would be a lot more elegant, of course, to run something like this with a slip disc, but I didn't want to over engineer it at this point. I was doing the hypertune and I got all these extra parts, all these updates after basically having this thing for 20 years. And so yeah, I got a little bit carried away with my cable management. And yeah, wish me luck. I'm setting up. We have a beautiful eastern view here on Maple Bay in beautiful British Columbia on Vancouver Island. We have a beautiful view on Salt Spring Island. There's a great clear sky here. We're pretty much on top of Mount Sahalem. And yeah, hopefully, well, here's the more western, southwest view that's pretty obstructed by where we live, but we have so much sky, and I'm just so happy to be here and to be able to do some stargazing tonight. Wish me luck.